What is going on, people? Tebbz Weekly episode number 11. If you haven't seen episode number 10 yet, click here to watch that video. It's Tuesday, 20 past 6. Me and Dad are just out here and we are coming up with a plan for the week. It's going to be a strange week this week because I'm not here. I'm only here Tuesday and Thursday because I'm going on a stag do to Portugal on a Friday. I would call it a holiday, but it's not really going to be a holiday. Yeah, I'm on a stag do to Portugal until Monday, and then I'll be hanging Tuesday, and then back to work Wednesday. So it's going to be a strange week. We are coming up with a plan now, and the first thing we said was to scale it after a good performance at Aldershot. We're definitely going to whack her on scales and write down. We're going to fill out the book in a minute as well, because we had a real good meeting, to be fair. The car was absolutely singing. So they are the times that you come home and you whack it on the scales. And then after that, it's just going to be unloading the van, usual thing, first day out here. Unloading the van, and then we're going to discuss of the plan next, as I say, because this car will not be out for 2 meetings now. There's 2 meetings that we're on shale, so it won't be out. So then we're going to have to work out a plan to get the other car over here. So once we've sorted all this out, then we'll come up with a plan of what we're going to do next. I haven't bought one yet. We're still using this one, but before I go home today, me and Dad are going to discuss, have a look at everyone's recommendations, and we're going to buy one. But I haven't yet. Just taking the tyre pressures, double checking them all while they're cold. Dad's currently writing in the book. What's that one? Just doing all the boring stuff that no one wants to know about, obviously. So we're just measuring this radiator, and I'm not allowed to tape because Dad told me off for measuring wrong last time. Obviously we need another radiator to replace.
You can't be trusted.
No.
With a tape measure.
I can't. So we're going to give the measurements to ASD, get him to do us a new one, and apparently there's a new alloy fan bracket, case carrier, whatever they're called, that encloses the fan right in and stops you having any of the problems of these welds cracking and obviously damaging the fan. So we want one of them. Send in the measurements and then hopefully
705 by 70.
705 by 70. Come around the back if not.
Yeah. It's not as easy as it's 300.
300.
Yeah.
So we can't mess the measurements up because they're on video now, and I know Alistair watches these. 300?
Yeah, and 2.
302.
Yeah.
300.
300. Right, it's not going to matter too much.
Right.
Well, that's Wadam as well, isn't it?
That one will be. Currently just looking at the fixtures for the next 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 meetings. Writing them down on the board there. So we got Northampton, 13th of May, taking the Spitfire, which you will see very, very soon. Mildenhall, 27th of May, taking the Corsa. Logelly, European weekend, 3rd and 4th of June, taking the Wadam. Eastbourne, 17th of June. Dad's away for that. He's on holiday on a cruise. Lucky him. So I'll be on my own for that. Not really, because I'll have a few boys there helping. You know who you are. Eastbourne, the 17th of June. Radham. And then Speed Weekend, the big one for us. It's not a big championship. It's just a bit of a Mickey Mouse one, but still a big meeting. You get 40, 50 cars there. And that is the 1st and 2nd of July. And we're thinking about taking the Wadam to that one. So plenty of good fixtures coming up for us. Plenty of different tracks. They're all different tracks, aren't they? Northampton, Mildenhall, Logelly, Eastbourne, yeah. Speed Weekend. All good, all different tracks. And we get to go up to Scotland again. We was hoping to go up there before then. But there's a meeting in a couple of weeks. But I'm busy doing my garden again. So we can't do that. But there's plenty to look forward to. Plenty coming on the channel. So obviously you guys get to see a few different tracks as well that we haven't been to yet. So what's the plan next, Dad? We've got we scaled it. We've got to unload the van next, actually.
Yeah. This is going to need a wipe down and then put away.
Right. We'll get her out and repair her.
What do you want to do? Unload the van first?
Unload the van first, I would say. And then we're going to give the white one a clean. and then probably put her away until Scotland. So we need to get it out of the garage and out of our way so we can get other cars in and get them prepped. So that's the van all unloaded now. Dad's currently wiping down the car, making her all clean for the next time we use it. And I just want to say thank you to the sponsor of this week's episode, which is LGC Scaffolding. Not only did they sponsor me on all my racing and have their name on all my cars, they're also sponsoring this episode. So I just want to say thank you to LGC Scaffolding. They're a family-run business established in 2021 with a wealth of expertise in the scaffolding industry. All thanks to the main man, Jeff, who's out there, puts the shift in, puts the graft in every single day. They offer a professional and reliable service and aim to provide a safe and friendly environment on every job. And I know that because I work for them. They cover the Berkshire, Hampshire, Oxfordshire and surrounding areas. So if anyone wants a free quote, have a look at the telephone number below, or also a link to their Facebook pages below. Looking over this Wadam, there's not really a lot of damage, which is always nice after a meeting like that. 30 plus cars, loads of people going at each other. Fair play to the Smith brothers and Piercy, entertaining everyone else for us while we're all going off-rodding. Yeah, I didn't really pick up any damage that I can see. I need a wheel guard put on. Back right corner here needs doing. And obviously just the general checks. But we'll sort that all out the week before it's meant to race in Scotland. So, as I say, this is getting put away for the minute. We was going to try and move the cars about tonight, but we're not going to bother. So, I'm not here tomorrow, like I said. Dad is here, and his job tomorrow is to get rid of the Wadam over to the farm where we keep the cars. He's going to get rid of that. And then Thursday, I'm back here. And we're going to have a juggle round with these cars. This Wadam, the Wadam is getting taken out of here and getting put elsewhere for the minute. We're going to get the Corsa in, not in the garage yet, but it's going to go on the driveway. And then we're going to get the Spitfire, did we call her?
Yeah.
And then we're going to get the Spitfire in the garage. So Dad's going to be busy moving the car Wednesday, and then I'm going to be back and we're going to sort that out. And that is it for today. As I say, the first day back after a meeting is always a slow day. Always spend about an hour chatting about the meeting, don't we?
Yeah.
Chatting about the meeting, chatting about the plan, fill the booking. As you say, if we have a really good meeting, we whack her on scales to make sure we know where we're at. But yeah, chat about the meeting, unload the van, all the jobs that happens the first day back. Really, not a lot gets done, but. Yeah, so that is it for today. Time is 5 to 9. I'm going to go home. I've got a nice roast dinner waiting for me when I get in. Roast pork. Ooh. And Dad will see you tomorrow, and I'll see you Thursday. Right, so this is Tebbz coming at you from the future. This is me editing the video. We didn't actually do anything Wednesday and Thursday. Dad went to take the trailer down with a red and black Adam on it, and the farmer had locked the gates, basically. I don't think they let us down there at a certain time now, after a certain time. So he went to go do that, couldn't do it, and then there was no point me going there Thursday to go swap the other cars around with him, because we would have got there at the same time he got there the day before. So anyway, it's all the plan all messed up, and then obviously Friday I was flying out, so I wasn't there Friday, so you got the rest of the footage now from Dad, Friday, Saturday and Sunday. So enjoy.
As I said before, this jockey wheel, they're rubbish and they don't really work. So I had exactly the same on my other trailer, which is here, which I got rid of, and I got this beast, which is good as gold, and that copes really well. So I've taken the old one out of there, but I've had to bolt this one to the side. But that works really well, so that's what that's getting next. That'll be sometime next week. And I've got some hitch locks coming as well. So let's get this cable on anyway. That'll do. Right, so I've got both of these green patches on and the lights fitted. So I just need to wire the lights in tomorrow. Bright enough. I might put a strip on here as well, both sides. That'd do, I reckon. And then tomorrow I'm going to put a camera up there so I can see the trailer when I'm reversing up to hook her up, and possibly when we're driving along I'll be able to switch the camera on so I can have a look at the car on the trailer as we're going. Right, it's 8:30 now, so I'm going to leave it there. I'm going to wire in those lights on the trailer tomorrow and then start on the camera, reversing camera for the van, get that on, so it's going to be easier for me to hook the trailer up on my own, take it over to the yard where the other car's stored. I'm collecting tomorrow. So by the time this video goes out, you would have seen the Aldershot one. I hope you enjoyed it. It's we're really pleased with how that came out, and we had a good day. Very busy, but well worth it. Anyway, see you tomorrow. Right, morning everyone. It's a beautiful day here near Heathrow. Saturday morning, and I've got loads of jobs to do. One of them is fitting a reversing camera to my van. Basically I need to put it up the top there. Oh, let's see. But it comes with this bracket. I need to put it on top of the van looking down at the tow ball, but it won't sit on top of the van and see the tow bar like that, so I'm probably gonna have to make a bracket, mount it more like that, like an L-shape bracket that this can go on, and then this can stick out a bit and point down. Anyway, something to think about. And then I just got to fit the screen inside the cab on the dash. Once I've got the camera fitted, then I can hopefully on my own I'll be able to reverse up to the trailer quite easily, and I'll go and collect the other car. Right, while I'm waiting for this to dry, I've just sprayed it silver. That's ready to go on the van. So once it's dry, I'll mount the camera onto the bracket and then mount the whole lot onto the van. In the meantime, I've got the lights I fitted yesterday on the trailer. I need to wire them in. It's nice and sunny out there, so good job. So another thing I ordered is a hitch lock. So I need to see if this fits. Hopefully it fits both trailers. If it does, I'll get another one. I'll have a look anyway. So it turns out these hitches are both different. This actually fits on this trailer. Better. So, need to find out what one fits on that trailer. Right, so basically I've fed the cable through the through the van and down this pillar, and it's going into this compartment here where there's a supply, which I've got one of these plugs, cut the end off, so I've got 12 volts coming out to some Wagos. And from there I'm just going to connect these in. I'm running short on time now because I've got to go and pick this car up, so I just want to get it running, and then I'm gonna sort it out when I get back. It could be a tomorrow job, but success. But the point of this is so I can see the tow bar, so I'm gonna have to point it down. So now I can see the tow bar down here. The other issue I've got is the steps are the wrong side, so this image is flipped, and also the locking screw on the camera. I'm gonna have to drill a hole in the plate because sod's law, it's not where the holes are, so I'm just going to drill it. Right, so up at the camera there's a little fixing hole, threaded hole in there and there, exactly where these slots are not. So I think I'll just drill a small hole in there for one of these little screws each side, and now I just need to get a grommet for this hole here where I've put the wire through. I put sealant up between the bracket and the top of the van, bolted that down tight. So if I just take this camera off, right, that's what I've ended up with. So I just got to tidy the cable up in there, find a grommet, and it's usable. Right, I'm just heading down to our storage yard where we've got the car stored that we're going to use for Northampton. Some people may have seen it before, others wouldn't have done, but I've got a trailer with me. I'm going to go and collect that and take that home ready to be worked on. Northampton's in a couple of weeks, so there's a bit to do on it, but gives us something to do. I'll switch off for now and then catch up with you when I get there. Here she is, Kurt's ride for Northampton. It's our version of the Honda Civic CRX. Needs a little bit of tidying up. We've used it before and it did all right, but we think it'd be a good one for Northampton, so we'll give it a go anyway. I'll get it back to the workshop, we'll have a look over it. So I've got the car back, ready to go in the garage, be worked on. And that's wrapped up my Saturday, I think. Time for something to eat. I'll probably be out here tomorrow. See you then. Right, so I'm addressing this issue with the sealant around the gear cluster. And that's the gear cluster for those that don't know. And the gearbox casing. What happens with the sealant is it gets on the end of the bolt and is forced into the holes like that. Sealant on there, and it goes hard in the holes, and anyway, it eventually breaks the thread, or the threaded part in the casing. So there's been a few comments, we've had comments with suggestions on how to deal with this. First of all, we got the new gaskets, so gaskets going to go on here. These usually come with a dowel here and here. This one's missing, that the gasket sort of hangs on, and it's been suggested to change these bolts out for studs and use the gasket And if they're studs, we could use the sealant and it wouldn't get in the holes because we just put nuts on. The trouble is, if I come around this side, some of the bolts are really long for the 5-speed gearbox, gear cluster. And we use a 4-speed as well, and the bolts are really short, like those bottom ones there. So if I put studs all around this casing to take a 5-speed, when I put a 4-speed on, there'd be quite long studs sticking out. These ones and some at the back there. So what I'm thinking of doing, I'll just make 4 studs for these short ones, 2 at the top, 2 at the bottom, for the gasket to hang on, and clean all the sealant off and put it back together. So that's the idea anyway. Right, so that was just those 2 holes. All that and what's on the floor. Anyway, so I'll make up some studs, put them in. I'll have to change this pinion because it's a different gear we use up at Lochilly. Right, so let's see if this gasket goes on now. I've done 4 studs. There you go. And then I might just put a couple of little bits of sealant, maybe on this corner, nowhere near the bolt holes, maybe here just to hold it back. So when he takes the cluster off, the gasket just stays stuck there. Yeah, that should keep him happy, hopefully. So now we get to the gear cluster, and one of the things Kurt was saying that he doesn't like the puller, the 2-leg puller, and he bought this off one of the websites to it's made for it. You put this over the pinion drive and then wind the bolt in, and it pulls the gear off, but the thread gives up in here in this nut, and it just doesn't work. Just starts pulling the stud through. So I think, is there any reason I can't put that one on? Much bigger on that shaft. So the gear is smaller than that shaft, so that'd be all right. So if I was to cut that off, we'll drill the hole out, weld this nut on, put that bolt in, see if that works. Let's give that a go. See if it comes off. Oh, it's loose anyway. What? Well, it's a bit of a pain, this job. Someone's got to do it. okay. So them studs don't help getting it on, because I can't tilt the gear cluster to line the gears up, or the output shaft is pointing down slightly, so I need to sort of lever it up, but I can't because it's fouling on the two studs at the bottom. So if I took them out, it might be okay. So they're not going to work. So when you put it in, these shafts tend to want to drop. So you need to sort of lift them up. So I just turned the output gear, the pinion drive gear, and it's meshed with the crown wheel. Here you go. So I've got the dowel and two studs there to hold the gasket. I didn't bother putting any sealant on it. Try and get away from the sealant. That hole's gone. So, that hole's no good. I have got a helicoil set, so probably next time this gear cluster comes out, I'll drill that out and helicoil it, which puts a new thread there. Right, so that's the gearing done on the Adam. Still got the wheel guard to do, but Kurt's going to do that when he gets back, so I'm going to leave that. That's all I'm going to do today. Tomorrow I'm going to get this one out and get the Civic in so we can start working on that. So, see you tomorrow. Well, that was a nightmare. Everything that could go wrong went wrong. So the Civic, the fuel lines have perished and they're leaking fuel everywhere. So that emptied the tank. I put a drip tray between the car and the trailer last night, and it was pretty empty when I come out, but I think all the fuel had drained out. It wasn't a lot, drained out into the drip tray, and then most of it evaporated. There was a little bit of oil in the drip tray. So as I pulled out of the drive, that fell out. So there's a little bit of mess to clear up there. And then trying to get the car off, the battery is flat. So I had to put jump leads, get another battery, put jump leads on. And I ended up with 3 different batteries because I couldn't get it started. and then looks like the button is dodgy for the starter motor. So I was messing about with that. I took the wires off the back and we're just touching them together. I was trying to find a clean earth to connect this jump lead, and that wasn't having it. I had to put more fuel in. Anyway, eventually it started, so I got that off. But then I have a bit of trouble getting the trailer on the drive. The trouble I have is we put a big jockey wheel on there, because this ramp keeps damaging, it bottoms out and damages the jockey wheel. So we put a heavy duty one on there, but I have to take it off and put it back on to get it in the drive to stop it damaging the wheel, the actual wheel. Anyway, it's all done now. Probably best part of an hour. But all I've got to do is put a cover on this seat now, and then Kurt will be doing the metal work when he comes. You could probably do it out here. There's that bit, and a bit of damage down here, broken welds. Probably pump that out, put a plate on it. Maybe pump that wheel guard out. But I've done the gearing anyway, ready for the next one. Right. So now we're all ready to work on this one. There's a whole list of jobs to do on this one, and I'll go through it when Kurt's with us. So here it is, the Civics in the workshop.
And that is the end of the episode. I did say this week was going to be a slightly different week, and it was. Obviously, looking at the editing footage, Dad's done a really good job this weekend trying to get as much footage as he can while I am away, so I really do appreciate that. I hope you lot enjoyed it. I hope you enjoyed his content. Next week, we'll be back to normal. I don't know how many days I'm going to be out there next week, but I will try. Obviously, we've got to work on getting this Civic now. Dad's seemed to have found a few more problems than what we originally thought. So, obviously, a big week, couple of weeks. I think Northampton's in a couple of weeks, so we'll be trying hard. And we'll be busy as trying to get that car ready for then. And until then, I'll see you in the next one.